Hello everyone, What If I Was Here? Raditz is perhaps the most underutilized villain in Dragon Ball. I mean, just think about it. He comes to Earth, beats Goku, gives a war dump, and then he dies only to never appear again. So, what if he never dies? And what if Raditz actually turned good? Let's see what happens next. The battle unfolds exactly as it is in the anime. Raditz easily overpowers Goku and Piccolo, and even the two rivals fighting together are not enough to defeat the alien, until Piccolo finally proposes the same plan as in the original story. Goku restrains his brother, and Piccolo charges the special beam cannon. When Raditz finally realizes, it's too late. As the special beam cannon coils through the air, Radiz tries to move. He can't overpower Goku in this position, but he manages to twist just enough. The beam tears to the corner of his chest. It's still a near fatal wound, but he won't die immediately, and as Goku is behind Raditz, the damage is even smaller to him, so he will survive. There's a moment of silence, followed by grunts as Raditz tries to pull away. His ship is gone, reinforcements are months away at best, and the green slug is still on his feet. This is the moment Raditz realizes he is done for. Blood soaks the earth beneath him. Piccolo considers finishing him, but Goku calls out to stop him. Even now, Goku doesn't want to kill his brother. No matter how much of a scum he is, Goku believes he could change. Raditz gasps for air. His eyes become unfocused. But one last thought spurs in his mind. How a weaker warrior was braver than him, and kept sparing him. Raditz expected death, but instead, he wakes up surrounded by white lights and beeping machines. He was inside the medical room in Capsule Corp, far away from anyone he could try to hurt. Bandages wrapped his torso, his arms and legs were bound by tons of steel, and he felt extremely weak, not just from the battle, but from the lack of advanced medical treatment on this planet. Then he noticed them. Raditz was surrounded by Goku, Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, Xiaozu, and Yamcha. The strongest fighters this world had to offer stared at him. Furthermore, Raditz was stunned at Goku. He seemingly had no injury already. Just how? For how long had Raditz been out there? Or did they have another way of killing their warriors? The Z fighters tried to interrogate him, but first, Goku just asks why. Raditz laughs at first. He mocks Earth and weakness, but then the laughter dies as realization sets in. He lost, almost died, and for the first time he couldn't crush those who were weaker than him. Then he tells them the truth. He tells them about Nappa and Vegeta, and about Frieza. He says they should be arriving in 1 year time, and how his power level is insignificant against them. The Z fighters begin training immediately, preparing for the Saiyans. Raditz is made to stay 2 more weeks in the Capsule Corp before he's allowed outside, as Goku vouches for him and invites him to his home. It's awkward at first. Chi-Chi hates Raditz for what he did, but he understands that Goku is the only one who might be able to stop him if he tries something again. Raditz isn't reformed yet, he's a Saiyan. But during the 1 year training, he tries to make things right. He apologizes for what he did, and slowly gains their trust. The training is intensive like no other. Piccolo and Goku train with him day and night, their power levels increasing by the second. Krillin and Tien came to visit a few times, but couldn't keep up, so they mainly trained with Kami. Yet, everyone got stronger than in the original story, as to be able to face Raditz in case he turned evil ever again. Gohan ends up training sometimes with Goku, but there isn't the same sense of urgency as in the original story, and Piccolo doesn't force him to train, so Gohan doesn't get nearly as strong. Yet, Goku recognizes that Gohan has the most potential of them all. By the end of it, most of the Z fighters grow much stronger. Gohan gets to a power level of 700, but won't be allowed to fight when the time comes. Xiaozu gets a power level of 900, Yamcha of 1700, Krillin of 1900, Tien of 2100. Then Piccolo's power level rises to 4700, Goku to 5500, and finally Radiz gets to a power of 7000. The Saiyan is still the stronger of the bunch, but the gap between them has clearly shortened. One day, two pods cut through the atmosphere, Nappa and Vegeta. They immediately destroy a city before scanning the highest power level. They lock onto a power of 1500 and scoff, saying that Radiz should have fled the planet when he had a chance. They fly towards it, but when they get there, they are surprised by what they see. The Z fighters, all with a power level of over 1000 and slowly rising. That's when Vegeta remembers these warriors could control their ki, making them a threat. However, the Saiyans don't take them seriously just yet. Nappa plants a Cyberman, mocking and asking if Raditz could even defeat two of them this time. Nappa proposes 1 versus 1 battles, but Tien is not having it. He just rushes in, killing all of them at once with a tri-beam. The Saiyans are unscathed but surprised. Nappa is enraged and immediately lunges at them, only to be stopped by Radiz. They fight fiercely on equal grounds, and Vegeta can't believe it. Radiz's power level had achieved 4000, but then the low-class warrior smirks. He releases his full power and defeats Nappa in 2 swift strikes. Vegeta's counter beeps at 7000 before he throws it aside. There is no point in using it anymore when it has only proven itself to be inaccurate. Nappa begs for help, but Vegeta kills him like in the original story, stating there is no point in having a weakling that was to Radiz. Yamcha yelps, saying that he was worried some of them might die, and they would need to use the Dragon Balls, but he guesses there's no need after all. Vegeta is immediately interested. Dragon Balls? They can grant wishes? He asks. The Z-fighters remain silent, unsure how to answer. Vegeta narrows his eyes and demands for them once more, but as his demands are not met, all that is left is to fight them, and figure out what's next. Silence falls over the battlefield. Nappa's body hits the ground in pieces, smoke rising from scorched earth beneath him. Vegeta's eyes are fixed on Radiz, a low-class Saiyan standing alive and stronger than he ever thought he could be. Vegeta exhales slowly. "So, this is how far you've fallen," he says. "You're now fighting alongside insects." He steps forward and the air seems to tighten, just with his mere presence. This time, there is no mockery, no games, and only intent to kill. Vegeta vanishes. Goku barely manages to block the first strike, his arms screaming in pain as he sent skidding across the floor. Radiz charges from the side, landing a clean hit to Vegeta's ribs, but he just takes it with 0 damage. Vegeta retaliates instantly, smashing Radiz into the dirt with a knee to the chest. Individually, none of them stands a chance, but together, they just might. Tien and Yamcha strike from opposite sides, forcing Vegeta back just long enough for Piccolo to whip into action. Just as he's done beating them into a pulp, he realizes what is about to happen. Energy coils around Piccolo's fingers, spiraling tighter and faster. Vegeta flies into the air, preparing his Gallic gun, but before he can fully release it, the special beam cannon is fired first. It pierces straight through Vegeta's stomach. The Gallic gun erupts anyway, unfocused, unstable, exploding outwards instead of forwards. Goku and Radiz scream as they pour everything they've got into stopping it, their combined ki barely enough to contain the blast before it detonates harmlessly into the sky. When the dust settles, Vegeta is on one knee, bleeding and furious. Vegeta laughs. "Well done. You've earned the honor of seeing my true power." He then raises his hand to the sky. A glowing orb of artificial moonlight forms above him, the Power Ball. Radiz's eyes widen. So that's how. His voice is cut as Vegeta crushes the orb and life engulfs the battlefield. In a split second, bones snap, muscles swell, and the ground beneath cracks. Vegeta roars as he transforms into a great ape. But he's not alone here. Radiz still has his tail, so right after Vegeta, he releases his own world-shaking roar. The crash is catastrophic. Raditz isn't as good as controlling his Suzaru, but good enough to focus on the big targets in front of him. Mountains crumble as the two great apes collide, their fists hitting like meteors, and the shockwaves tearing through the world. However, Vegeta is stronger, faster, and more experienced. Raditz is driven back again and again, barely holding his ground. The others move just before he's defeated. Yamcha and Tien blast Vegeta's legs, distracting him momentarily. Goku strikes from above, forcing his head back, and Piccolo uses another special beam cannon to pierce one of his eyes. They stop Vegeta just long enough for Krillin to appear behind him, his hand steady despite the terror gripping him. "Kianzan!" he shouts. The disc slices Krillin to Vegeta's tail. The great ape collapses, screaming, shrinking back into his battered Saiyan form. Vegeta can barely stand. Piccolo and Goku, the least injured of the Z-Fighters, step forwards and strike together. With a flurry of precise and relentless blows, Vegeta is driven into the dirt, coughing blood, barely conscious as he crawls towards his spot. Piccolo raises his hands to finish him, but then Goku stops him. He argues that Vegeta was a fun fight, although he was evil, so he hopes he could change for good, just like Raditz. Piccolo argues back, however, the momentary hesitation is enough for Vegeta to get into his pods. "Fools," he spits. "Frieza will come for the Dragon Balls," he says, before vanishing into space. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like and subscribe, it really helps the channel grow. And if you want to explore another timeline, there should be one on your screen right now.